But Marjorie Taylor Greene has been very vocal about this. And to the point, she's actually like kind of been turning on Trump a little bit. She seems very disillusioned with him this second time around. He promised all this shit. He promised, lowering the cost of energy, lowering the cost of living. And so far, all we've gotten is fucking him sucking Bill Clinton's dick in the Oval Office. She went on The View and was talking shit about him. She's held press conferences about the Epstein files, urging the release of them. And Trump just got fucking fed up. He posted this at 8:31 p.m. on Friday evening, 8:31 p.m. Eastern on Friday evening. He said, "I am withdrawing my support and endorsement of quote unquote Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown." False. Actually, no, it was a Republican victory on the shutdown because the government reopened and now 20 million people are going to be without fucking healthcare. Closed borders, low taxes, only on the 1%, of course. No men and women's sports are transgender for everyone. And I ended DEI, which is why all of these planes are falling out of the sky at a record pace. Stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, biggest regulation cuts in history, stopping 8 wars, rebuilding our military, being respected by every country in the world, as opposed to being the laughing stock that we were 12 months ago. Okay, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Having trillions of dollars invested in the USA, and it like the impression is fighting to come out of me, even though I simply don't want to fucking do it anymore. And having created the hottest country anywhere in the world from being a dead country just 12 months ago, all I see wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain. He fell off. He should have said like miserable Marjorie. That would have been that would have been better than wacky. There's not even any fucking alliteration there. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have any chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she was about to get. She has told many people that she's upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore, but with 219 congressmen and women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members in almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district in Georgia, that they too are fed up with her and her antics, and if the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support. She has gone far left, even doing The View with their low IQ Republican hating anchors. Thank you all for your attention on this matter. What's funny about this is Donald Trump lives in a fucking bubble, and obviously I'll expand on this in a little bit more. Like, it doesn't fucking matter who he endorses in this in a potential it doesn't matter who he endorses to primary Marjorie Taylor Greene. In all likelihood, that candidate is going to fucking lose because all of the candidates, or at least 90% of the candidates that Trump has endorsed over his time in politics, have gotten fucking washed at the polls because people do not like MAGA. They do not like Trump. So Marjorie Taylor Greene responded by saying, "I'm now being contacted by private security firms with warnings for my safety as a hotbed of threats against me are being fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world, the man I supported and helped get elected. Aggressive rhetoric attacking me has historically led to death threats and multiple convictions of men who are radicalized by the same type of rhetoric being directed at me. Now, look at the fucking guys who tried to the guys who tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, the guys who firebombed that South Carolina justice's house. Again, right-wingers are responsible for the overwhelming majority of political violence, this time by the President of the United States. As a woman, I take threats from men very seriously. I now have a small understanding of the fear and pressure the women who are victims of Epstein and his cabal must feel. As a Republican who overwhelmingly votes for President Trump's bills and agenda, his aggression against me also fuels the venomous nature of his radical internet trolls, many of whom are paid." This is completely shocking to everyone. "My phone is blowing up with constant support. I'm so thankful. The political industrial complex and the toxic, violent nature of American politics must end. Our country is worth saving, and it can only be done if we pull together and save ourselves." Hal for NY, don't know who this is, but he cooked. Let this be the final lesson to everyone that supports Donald Trump. That relationship goes one way. You either support him 100% or he will turn on you full force. Exactly. Donald Trump's relationships are conditional. Always have been, always will be. Donald Trump will be your best friend for as long as you are loyal to him. Once you fucking wake up and notice that he's a blithering idiot who is ruining the country, he's going to cut you off. This has happened historically. Mike Pence, John Bolton, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all of these people used to be fucking Trump dick riders, and now they fucking hate each other. I have an article here from Newsweek that takes a look at a little bit of the reaction to all of this. Activist Laura Loomer celebrated. Oh, hold on. Conservative commentator Cat Turd declared, "I'll support any primary opponent of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Just like Trump, I'm sick of hearing her bullshit every day." This is the same Cat Turd who killed his cat or something, killed his dog by accident. Activist Laura Loomer celebrated the move, writing that, quote, "President Trump calls for Marjorie Taylor Greene to be primaried. He said he will endorse a challenger to her and says she has become a ranting lunatic. Should I move to Georgia?" She added, "I told you this was coming. Marjorie Taylor Greene is so cooked." Right-wing host Mark Levin also endorsed Trump's break, saying, quote, "Everyone's on to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trader Greene." Oh my God, wow. The most charismatic person in conservative media fucking really cooked with that one. POTUS just posted he's withdrawing his endorsement and plans to support a primary challenger. I agree 100%. She's nuts. That person is not going to fucking win. If you're a conservative who is still in the Trump bubble, you are on a sinking ship. MAGA, the MAGA movement, is the Titanic. There are countless parallels. And the iceberg is approaching. You need to jump ship, otherwise you are going to fucking drown. MAGA and President Trump in particular are historically unpopular. I just did a video that looked at how that revealed nearly 80% of independents disapprove of Trump's handling of the economy. 61% of poll respondents said that Donald Trump is making the economy worse. The affordability crisis is spiraling out of control. Literally everything is still getting more and more expensive. Housing is still completely unaffordable. There are hundreds of thousands of homeless people all throughout the country. Veterans Affairs, the VA, has seen a reduction of between 40 and 50% of its workforce. Donald Trump is destabilizing trade relationships all over the globe, which are leading to higher prices at the grocery store for consumers. Above all that, he is further credibly tied to Jeffrey fucking Epstein. I don't know what these people are going to do in a couple of years. I literally have no idea. That is going to be a fascinating development. Will these people have a come to Jesus moment? I highly doubt it. Because a lot of these folks have had their careers made by Donald Trump, and not by by being literally tied to him. But not all MAGA supporters are so supportive of Trump's approach. Right-wing commentator Evan Kilgore wrote on Twitter, quote, "I stand with Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Who else?" His post referenced Trump's efforts to unseat Greene and Massie in the 2026 midterms, both of whom have been critical of him. Greene, once one of Trump's most loyal allies in the House, has recently broken with the administration and clashed with GOP colleagues on a series of high-profile issues. The public rift centers on issues of government transparency in the release of the Epstein files, foreign versus domestic policy focus, and the broader strategic direction of the GOP as the 2026 midterm elections approach. It escalated after Greene criticized Trump's stance on efforts to release files related to the disgraced financier who died in federal custody in 2016. Greene has backed a bipartisan House effort to force disclosure of the remaining records, arguing the victims deserve clarity. Quote, "I think it's a huge miscalculation, and I truly just stand with the women," she told CBS Mornings. Trump fired back on Truth Social, dismissing renewed attention to the case as the Jeffrey Epstein hoax and claiming Democrats were reviving it to distract from their handling of the shutdown and other issues. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into the trap. He later said the Justice Department, under Attorney General Pam Bondi, would launch an investigation into Epstein's alleged ties to prominent Democrats. Greene was among only 4 Republicans who sided with Democrats on Wednesday to advance a petition aimed at forcing a vote to unveil the full Justice Department files on Epstein. What's really funny about this is, listen, if there are Democrats in the Epstein files, I want them to be fucking put in prison too. I said this back before Bill Clinton's name was seemingly cleared. If Bill Clinton was involved, get that motherfucker the fuck in prison. By doing this, by attempting to single out the Democrats, they're only going to fucking indict more Republicans. They're only going to further indict Donald Trump. Greene has also broken with Trump on other issues recently. She publicly criticized Trump's plan to introduce 50-year mortgages to lower monthly payments for homebuyers. I don't like 50-year mortgages as the solution to the housing affordability crisis. Me and Marjorie Taylor Greene once again agree on something. I never thought that me and Marjorie Taylor Greene would have 2 points of agreement ever. And here we are with the 50-year mortgages. We both hate them. And with calling for the release of the Epstein files. Meanwhile, she recently described his tariff strategy as unevenly executed and urged him to shift away from overseas flashpoints and back to problems at home. She's also pushed back on his claim that inflation has eased and pressed Republicans to present a concrete plan on rising healthcare expenses. I think we're witnessing the horseshoe theory. I think we're witnessing the horseshoe theory play out in real time. For anyone who doesn't know, the horseshoe theory is when someone goes either too far right or too far left, they wind up on the far side, on the far opposite side of the political spectrum. Marjorie Taylor Greene still is a far right conservative, but she is expressing progressive viewpoints, not like specifically, but the theory of it, calling for a solution to the housing crisis, to healthcare costs. Her and I would probably disagree on the actual plan to do that, but she is slowly realizing, she's slowly coming to left-wing solutions on all of these problems. Earlier this year, she became the first GOP member of Congress to characterize the situation in Gaza as genocide. Greene responded to Trump's remarks, writing, "President Trump just attacked me and lied about me." She added that the president is coming after her in an attempt to, quote, make an example to scare all other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein files. And then, the rest of that is just, the rest of this article is just the quotes that we already discussed. I implore all Republicans to disengage from Donald Trump as quickly as possible, because your career is only going to suffer. And it sucks that I have to say this from a careerist point of view, but a lot of these fucking scumbags are just that. They are careerists. They are narcissistic. They are selfish individuals who only care about what is best for them. They only care about going from a representative to a senator, or from a state senator to a representative, or from a senator to someone in a cabinet position. They don't give a fuck about anything else. They don't give a fuck about policy. They don't give a fuck about serving their constituents. If you continue to be the parasite that suckles on the teat of President Trump, your career is going to fucking implode.